There is only one damsel in distress that I like. It's the one in Bonnie Tyler's shoes. Hey guys, it's Amy here, back again with another video. So a little bit ago, I came across a video on TikTok that got the feminist cogs in my brain a-turning. And it also just showcased how we still have so far to go. That is to do with heroism being gendered and anti-feminine. I mean, if you think about it, how many heroes in action, fantasy, and sci-fi do we see dressed in pink with frilly skirts and lace while also having swords and guns? You don't see many, do ya? Especially in leading roles. And it's not an aesthetic that should clash, mind you, because a sword literally goes with anything. So what the hell is up with that? Why is femininity in heroes not seen as often? Or why is it just straight up shamed? What perspectives do we have in our society that tie these beliefs to them? And can we even remove gender from heroism entirely? Let's talk heroes! Starting with the elephant in the room that has got her long hair draping out of a window in a tower. Feminism in the action genre has been the kind of feminism that's been the most studied, critiqued, and in need of fixing. This is largely due to the original target audience and the people who created these stories in the first place being predominantly male, though that has evolved over time. And these people have their own ideas about what females should look like within these genres. It's the same tropes of damsels in distress done over and over again. We see it in fairy tales, we see it in Scooby-Doo, where the female is hot and helpless. Because when females aren't the ones being saved, they're the ones who get to be stared at. Because that's what males feel good about. Superiority, being bowed down to, bloodshed and boobies. Probably, I wouldn't know. I'm not a male and I've never identified as a male, so I would never know what it's like to be a male. And males don't know what females are like either, which is why this becomes such a tiresome and bad cliche. However, in recent times, this perception has been altered in the light of feminism. Whether this is females writing action heroes or males writing them in a way that is just acceptable so that people won't bite at them and cancel them. Females are given the chance to be heroes. No, actually, they're given a chance to be masculine. So much about the way our society has been molded has linked heroism and masculinity together. And more so, masculinity and being male together. Masculinity and femininity without the bounds of gender, which has only been studied recently, goes into the strong protector and the empathic nurturer. That's what each are at its core, but our society also pins masculinity to strength, dominance, and a bunch of other stuff along those lines to be considered tough. While femininity is linked to emotions and vanity, just to name a few. And so often in stories from as early as cavemen, men have been seen as stronger than women, more so than biologically. They want to be strong, they want to be dominant, they want to be protectors. In Homer's epics, a male is identified most often by these traits to be considered a hero, whereas a female hero is often considered to be strong with their skills at deception and trickery. However, even Greek and Roman mythologies acknowledged that there were strengths between both genders. They had a god of war for each gender. Ares and Athena. They had Mars and Minerva. Both considered gods of war in different ways and both male-female. It really makes you wonder exactly where this divide in history came from to consider males as the hero. Kind of astonishing that from our perspectives, an ancient society is more progressive than our current one. For so many reasons. Minor tangent aside, our perception of heroes hinges on this need to be strong and our need to not be empathic, to hide our emotions and be stoic. Therefore, female heroes must portray these masculine and male-associated tropes in order to be heroes. So what happens to the typically female traits? I mean, let's just face it, being a man isn't desirable for everybody, and we shouldn't be erasing feminine traits as a result either. There are so many tropes that go into the erasure of the stereotypical female, but we're going to be talking about the actions ones specifically. With femininity being hinged around emotions and potentially getting emotional, it is considered weak to do that in comparison to the strong protecting masculine traits. If you're weak, you cry, for instance, and women cry a lot. But I'm just gonna put it out there. I think the male version of me would have cried a lot too. If a lot had changed about me, just, I'd be male. I would be crying a lot still. Which is interesting, because it has become more accepted in media for males to be in touch with their emotions and show moments of vulnerability. Moments where they lose their stoicism. This is obviously to address toxic masculinity, but now it's somehow toxic for females to be crying as well. Looks like toxic femininity exists too, and thus the depiction for the female hero is Edgelord 9000. It's more than that, because the depiction of female heroes is just a male hero in a woman's body, not Freaky Friday style. They revolt dresses and don't care about their appearances. They are not like other girls, which makes them every single other girl in action media. I'm a little bit guilty of this in a sense. Subconsciously, my main character in ASTER'S CODA Happy Attacker does not display stereotypically feminine traits. But that was never with the intention to make her not feminine. It's getting into our subconscious now to write characters like that. So while we're seeing female heroes, we're not seeing them feminine per se. They hold literally no emotion, as they are just statues with swords or magic or something. Feminist scholars time and time again have referred to one character across media as the ideal female hero, all the way back in the 80s. It's Ripley from Aliens. She holds both feminine and masculine traits throughout the movie, though not in the typical pink and blue way that we see gender today, which is so bad. We see Ripley as the fighter and the nurturer as she becomes the most powerful mother figure known to mankind. Just to prove that nothing cuts like a mother figure. She took a child under her wing and protected the child from aliens by being an absolute badass in that mech suit. I think that would make Ripley the basis for a hero regardless of gender, with the ability to fight and protect while still being nurturing and in touch with emotions and making sure the child she's protecting is alright. This makes her a more compelling character because we know what she's fighting for, and it is very universal and simple to understand. It isn't a motivation that's gritty like vengeance or outdated like the nuclear family. There is a life she cares about and she is simply trying to save it. So because of that, Ripley is a good hero. I'd consider her to be the epitome of heroes, not just feminine heroes, not just female heroes, just flat out heroes. But we're not done discussing things here. We still have to address one side of toxic femininity that's not being displayed in heroes: appearances, vanity, being girly. Going back to the dress rejection point I made. Trousers have often been a symbol for feminism simply because when this kind of thing started rising in World War II, it was just more practical for women to be wearing trousers than they were to be wearing skirts while tending to farms and stuff of the like. Now they are seen as the signs of a woman in charge. Who's wearing the trousers now? But dresses haven't been eradicated from the world, and skirts are enjoyed by many, except female heroes
Because it's girly, gross!
and we can't have a hero be girly. So it looks like we still have some work to do to fix that problem. This is something that I am adjusting the portrayal of even further with the main character for Maledict's Echo. She is very much a sporty person, and she ends up eventually joining an army and, doing a bunch of badass stuff. But she still very much cares about her appearances and likes to wear skirts and, swoosh them around and stuff. Who doesn't love a swooshy skirt? And quite often, we see girl heroes. Heroes that are wearing dresses and skirts and stuff while still being able to do powerful badass things, like the Powerpuff Girls. But one critique I see about this is making these heroes super duper girly, where the girly hero is made enough to appeal to a largely female audience. We don't really see that in a gender-neutral sort of audience. So this makes it even more difficult to find a non-male hero to appeal to all genders, where the kinds of heroes that would be accepted in a feminine sense are explicitly being shown to girls, and then the ones that aren't feminine at all are being shown to males. This makes me realize we actually need more NB and gender fluid heroes. Luckily, that's one story I have planned. I'm gonna be writing an NB protagonist in a future novel. It's probably not gonna be published for another 10 years or something because I am a slow writer. But going back to heroes now, we need to figure out what's common between a male hero and a female hero to be able to find the good epitome and meeting point of a hero that can appeal to both genders, the entire gender spectrum, regardless of what the character's actual gender is. So if we're trying to remove gender from the equation, what the fuck is it supposed to be? It can't be masculine like Hercules, it can't be super femme, and it can't be a male personality in a female body. What the hell is it then? Whatever the hell it wants to be. We should be focusing on heroes for their deeds and not their aesthetics. They just need to do what they're doing right and do it well to be able to overcome their fatal flaws and make a damn good story. And if for some reason after this entire video you still think heroes include masculine qualities, let me give you a Google definition. A person who is admired for their courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities. Not once does it mention strength or empathy in there. Noble qualities in that definition does make it broad though, but maybe that's just the point. We just gotta make the right kinds of heroes for the stories that we're telling. Nothing but our story should teach us how masculine, feminine, or neither a hero has to be. Have your female hero wear pink dresses. Have your male hero bench press. Have the genders swap around with males in dresses and females bench pressing. Just do what you want with your hero and don't let gender define what your hero has to be. So that's all I got for you when talking about heroes. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new around here. You can ring that bell to find out when I post more creative content. I got a hero too in ASTER'S CODA Exposure, my fantastic portal fantasy novel inspired by Men in Black, but it's fantasy with the writing style reminiscent of Rick Riordan. If that doesn't appeal to you, I don't know what will. You can buy it in the description. And you can also go down there to see my Instagram, my Fiverr, my TikTok, and my website. Stay creative, everybody, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.